everyone, welcome back to my channel Alice Education. So, after a long time, I'm again starting with a new topic. That is, from now onwards, I will try to discuss and explain all the topics and syllabus that are in the first semester of class 11. So, today I'll be starting the first verse present in the syllabus, that is, composed upon Westminster Bridge, September 3rd, 1802, by William Wordsworth. So this is the first verse that is present in your syllabus of semester 1. So let us start. First, I will read out the lines and then I will try to explain them. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Dull would he be of soul who would pass by. The first two lines means that earth has nothing more to show beautiful to us. The earth has already shown its most beautiful things to us and he has nothing else left to be shown. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by. Means that dull would be the soul of the person who could just pass by after seeing such beautiful and fair things. Here the first line is example of hyperbole. Next, a sight so touching in its majesty, this city now taught like a garment wear. This means that a sight, that means the view of this city, is so touching in its majesty, and this city now dots like a garment wear. Let me say that the city means London here, and because William Wordsworth is a pretty famous poet, he is an English poet, so like he is talking about London in the poem specifically. So like it is fantastically described the light, the sun rays with a garment. The beauty of the morning, silent bare, means that the morning is silent and bare and the beauty is still there. Because at morning time there is not so much usually crowd or not so much noise. So the poet is saying that silent bare. And of course mornings are always beautiful. Actually it's beautiful to me. I don't know about any others views, or I think it's beautiful to everyone. Ships, towers, domes, theatres and temple lie open unto the field and to the sky. Here the poet is talking about some buildings and some things like the ship, the tower, the dome, the theatres and the temple. They are all lying open unto the field and to the sky. Means if we talk about practically, like all the things are situated above the ground but towards the sky. So here the poet is explaining that only, that onto the ground and to the sky, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Never did sun more beautifully steep. Means that all the things around in the nature of the city of London is bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Here bright and glittering means the things are bright because the sun is coming up, the sun is rising. The first rays of the sun is falling on them basically. So like they are bright and they are glittering in the smokeless air. Here smokeless air means that it is the morning time, so of course there won't be so much noise as I mentioned before, and of course there will be less pollution because there will be less vehicles on the road and also there will be less people. So it is saying that smokeless air. Then, never did sun more beautifully steep. According to the poet, the sun has never more beautifully steep, means the sun has never before so beautifully rose. In his first splendor, valley, rock or hill, means that in the first ray of the sun. So from here we can clearly understand that it is dawn time. That means the sun is rising. And the poet is saying that in this first splendor, means the first ray is described here. In the first ray of the sun, the valley, the rock or hill, never saw I, never felt so calm, so deep, means that he has never saw such beautiful scenario and he has never felt so calm and so deep. Means that he might have never just experienced the nature so calmly and so deeply like he is doing for the first time. The river glided at its own sweet will. The river is gliding at its own sweet will. Now the word glided means that moved continuously in a smooth way and slowly and without any kind of obstacles. Like of course rivers always move beautifully and continuously in a smooth way, and of course nothing can stop rivers from flowing basically. So When the sun is rising, the river is still flowing in its soft and natural way. Dear God, the very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty herd is lying still. Means that he is saying to the God that, Dear God, the very houses seem asleep. Now, here, the very houses seem asleep. This line, this part, is personification parts of speech. Because houses can never sleep, like they're not living things, but the poet is the poet is comparing the house and the living things together. That's why we can say that it is personification. Dear God, the very houses seem asleep and all that mighty heart still lying. Because the sun is shining for the first time, there are many houses that are still asleep and all the mighty heart is lying still. Here, mighty heart means that the hearts of the people of London. Like the poet is describing the hearts and the people as mighty and they are still lying. When the sun is shining, it is basically like most of the people don't just get up when the sun shines. Most of them still sleeps and then afterwards they rise. So that's why the poet is saying that the mighty heart is lying still, means the heart is taking rest and they are lying still. So the reading of the poem is A B B A, and it's continued for two times, that A B B A and again A B B A, and then C D C D and C D. Then there's some questions given that at what time of the day did Wordsworth observe the beauty of the city of London? So like I have described before also and I have mentioned before that it's the dawn time. And so that's it for today and I hope that you all have understood it clearly.